The man who has temporarily replaced Professor Phil Jones as boss of the embattled climate change unit at the University of East Anglia has told Channel 4 News that his former boss will get his job back and will be completely vindicated. Jones himself said today that he felt tremendously pressurised by the affair but was trying to continue his work. He was provoked to speak out today following new claims that he'd sought to hide problems over temperature measurements from Chinese weather stations. Our science correspondent Tom Clark has this.
Of all the recent allegations over the validity of global climate data compiled by the University of East Anglia, this latest one is perhaps the most grave. It relates to a piece of research, now 2 decades old, that was one of the key building blocks of the scientific consensus that the world has warmed significantly in the last century and that mankind is behind it. What's more, it was written by Phil Jones, the head of UEA's Climate Research Unit, who stepped down in December pending an inquiry into his handling of freedom of information requests for his data. The row over global climate data sets revolves almost entirely around simple weather stations, like this one. Every day they take temperature and rainfall readings. These are then incorporated into those global climate histories. The current controversy entirely focuses on the fact that weather stations like this one in urban areas give consistently warmer temperature readings. Cities are on average 1 or more degrees warmer than the countryside. Professor Jones's crucial 1990 paper examined whether heat from cities skewed the picture of global climate change. It incorporated average readings from thousands of individual weather stations scattered across North America, Russia, Australia, and 84 weather stations in China. In 2007, a leading climate change skeptic revealed that details on the specific location of 40 of the 42 supposedly rural stations in China weren't in the paper. If these stations were in fact in urban locations, the resulting temperature data from China might suggest the country was warming more than it actually was. After weeks of pressure from climate skeptics and the media, the interim director of the embattled Climate Research Unit told Channel 4 News today there was nothing wrong with their body of work.
I think there's no question that the global temperature record produced by Climategate Research Unit is absolutely correct. And of course it's vindicated by 2 other institutions in the United States who have looked at the data and processed it in their ways. The results are almost identical.
In a statement, Phil Jones defended the key 1990 study. Doubt remains as to the source of the Chinese weather data, but subsequent studies have supported the paper's key conclusions. On a personal note, he said,
"I feel tremendously pressurised by all this, but I'm trying to continue my work in the science. I think it's very important and it's potentially very serious for the future of mankind in decades to come. It makes me quite worried people are beginning to doubt the climate has warmed up. We do need to make more of the data available. I fully accept that."
So are people less confident in climate change science since the allegations emerged?
Not really, because obviously, if we do continue how we are, things are going to change.
I don't think we've got time on our side, do you? I do think the glaciers are melting, maybe not at the rate they're saying, but the pollution element is still there. And I think shock tactics in this case might just have made more people read the article and think about it.
And the man standing in for Phil Jones during the inquiry believes the scientist will be entirely vindicated.
And I think that's the reason why he has a sort of quiet confidence that in the end he'll be vindicated.
And you believe him?
And I believe him, yes. And when you asked the question earlier as to whether his position was tenable, I think it's absolutely tenable.
The latest controversies have come at a bad time during intense political negotiations surrounding the Copenhagen Climate Accord. Having persuaded the majority that our climate is changing, scientists are now having to fight to keep them convinced.